Hi everyone, this is Professor Bowen-Moore. This video is going to show you how to take an object out of a background of one image and then place that object into another image in Photoshop. So the two images that we're going to use today are a bottle image, and I'm just going to drag that to the Photoshop icon. You can also open an image by going to File, Open, and it will open that image. The other image is a statue hand. So I am dragging that to the Photoshop icon. So now I have both of these images available now. Now, if you have an image that you try and edit, I can unlock this image and edit it, but if it still gives me a box that says that this content cannot be edited, what you can do is go up to Layer, convert it to a smart object. So what that does is that it makes all the information in that file, this image file, available. And then we would go right back to Layer in the top menu and go to Rasterize Smart Object. So what that does is it makes all the pixels in this image editable. So converting it to a smart object makes all the file information available, and then rasterizing the smart object makes all the pixels in the image editable. So if you do ever get a box saying that you cannot, or that's disallowing you to edit the image, then that's what you can do to make it editable. I did click on the lock to unlock this layer. And there's a couple of ways that you can take this object out of the background. One way is to use your selection tools. All three of these selection tools, the marquee tool, the lasso tool, and then the different selection tools under this box, like the quick selection tool, magic wand. All of these do the same thing. It's just a matter of what is more comfortable or appropriate for that particular object. Some objects have a cleaner edge to them, which makes it easily, like the magic wand. Like I can click on this background, it automatically detects these edges for us. Now it did not detect the bottom shadow down here very well. So I might use the quick selection tool to select the rest of that. And you can use your bracket keys on your keyboard to make your selection wand bigger or smaller. So one way you can delete this background is just click delete once you've selected that background. But sometimes it doesn't get the edge of the object very clearly or as well as you want it to. So another way you can go about this is use a clipping mask, which is, I'm just looking at the little icon in the bottom of the layers window over here on the right, the rectangle with the circle in the middle. Now, if I click this right now, it's gonna take out the bottle, not the background. And that's not what we want. So what I would do to reverse that is go up to select in my main menu and select inverse. And now when I create the clipping mask, it will select the background and take that out and versus the positive space. So now we've taken this out of the background. And I'm going to separate this tab. I've got multiple images up here. I'm going to separate this one from the tab bar up there. I'm just going to move it over so I can see both images. I've still got my image here. You can see my layers are still visible with my mask. And all I'm going to do to put this bottle in the next image is I'm just going to select this layer and then drag it to the new image. And once I'm in the new image, if I go to my move tool, which is basically the selection tool in Photoshop, then I can size it down. Excuse me. So I'm going to use my shift key to scale this down. If I use my Op shift key, you can see it's not proportional. So I want to keep this proportional when I scale this. I'm going to make it a little bigger. And then I'm gonna rotate it to kind of work in the hand. And so we're kind of placing it there. And then from here, what I want to do is I want to make this bottle layer invisible. Now, if you don't see your bounding box, another thing to be aware of in Photoshop is if I'm in my move tool up here in the control panel, you want show transform controls checked and you want auto select checked. Those two things are really important to keep you from having a world of frustration. If I don't have this checked, I can't see my bounding box. So if I even select this object, I'm not even sure which object I'm selecting. So always have that checked so you know, and you can adjust it accordingly. But I'm going to make that layer invisible using the eye toggle, clicking on the eye toggle over here. I'm going to select the background layer or the statue hand. I'm going to unlock that layer. And I am going to select, we want to bring that thumb in front of the bottle. So we want to select this thumb using one of these selection tools again. And we have a nice contour, a soft contour, but it's still a pretty clean edge. So I'm just going to use the magnetic lasso tool. That will enable it will cling to the edge of that contour like a magnet. And I'm just following along with my trackpad or mouse. I'm not pressing anything or holding my mouse down or anything like that. I'm just kind of carefully going around the part of the thumb that I want to select. And I'm not doing the whole hand. I'm going to enclose that selection. And all I'm going to do here is copy and paste. So I'm going to copy this layer, Command C or Control C. And then when I paste it, it's automatically going to make a new layer. So I'm going to Command V now or Control V. And you can see over here in my layer window over on the right, you can see that it automatically created this layer with just the selection that I made on that hand. But that layer is still below or underneath the bottle. So all I do to put it on top is I'm going to move this layer above the bottle. So now I've got the thumb overlapping the bottle. So now it's working a little bit more realistically, just to give you an idea of how to take one object out of one picture and insert it into another. And that's it. If you have any questions about this, task in Photoshop, please let me know. Thank you.